Welcome to Independent Lifestyles, sponsored by the Sheboygan County Aging and Disability Resource Center. We present this program that promote well-being and direct you to resources that help you maintain your health and independence in our community. I'm Christine Jeske, outreach worker at the ADRC, and I will be your host. Our guest today is Susan Wenzel, who is the meal site manager at the Generations in Plymouth. Good morning, Susan.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm doing real good today.
Good. So tell me your job title and how long you've worked for the county.
I am a meal site manager and outreach worker through the Aging and Disability Resource Center. I have worked for Sheboygan County for over 22 years.
As a meal site gal?
As a meal site manager.
So where you're working now, you've been there for 22 years?
Yes.
Wow.
Yep, in my position as a meal site manager for over 22 years. Yep.
So people must know you very well.
Oh yes, yep.
And you've seen a lot of changes?
Yes. I've been in two different locations in Plymouth. So for the last 8 years, we've been at the Generations building in Plymouth. And the Generations building is located on Douglas Drive in Plymouth. And it houses the Sheboygan County Senior Dining Program and the Growing Generations, which is a daycare center upstairs, Head Start program. We have Safe Harbor there, and the Family Resource Center is also there. There's also a small Piccadilly restaurant that is located at the same in the same building.
We have different meal sites. How many meal sites do we have?
We have 8 different meal sites. We have the Plymouth meal site. There is the Sheboygan meal site. There's Sheboygan Falls, Howard's Grove, Oostburg, Cedar Grove, Cascade, and
Adel.
And Adel. Yeah, Adel.
Perfect. Perfect.
There's 8 of them.
And is your program open Monday through Friday?
Yes, yep. We are open Monday through Friday.
And what is the time in the meal site? What time does it start?
We have the space from 10 a.m. until 1 in the afternoon.
Okay, okay. And people come there to have a meal?
Yes.
And do you offer anything else besides the meal prior to it?
Yes. Well, there's all kinds of different events going on at Generations in Plymouth. So they've got just all sorts of things going on.
So what do they do? Like yesterday when I came, you had somebody from the community come in and do flowers.
Yes. So
they do a presentation solely for the meal site?
Yes, every day.
Every day?
Besides just providing the meal, the senior balanced meal that we provide, every day there's a activity for them to do.
And is there a cost for the meal?
Yes, there is. It's a suggested $4 donation, or pay what you are able for the meal.
And the people have a place to put the money?
Yes.
Nobody sees what they're doing?
Yes, there's a small table set up in the dining room, and there's a donation box, and as they enter, they put their donation in the box. It's totally up to the senior what they can afford. We suggest it's $4, but they pay what they are able to. And
do they need reservations, or how much in advance do they need to? Do they call the day before?
Yes, they do. They must make a day ahead of time reservation. We like to say by noon the day before, just because the chef needs to know how many to make the day before so he can get things ready.
So you have a chef?
Yes, we have a chef. Yep, we are one of the only sites that has a chef on site. So he's in Plymouth, he's in the Piccadilly, and he provides the senior meal for us.
Can other people join in at the Piccadilly, or do you promote other people coming in within the community?
Yes, yep. The Piccadilly is open from 11 until 2 every day, and people from the community come in and order off of their menu, and they stay and eat, or they take it to go.
So what they make is what you serve as at your meal site, or do you follow suit with the rest of the meal sites?
We follow suit with the rest of the meal sites. The menu is not exactly the same as the other meal sites, but it's still it's a senior meal is what they're getting. They're getting their meat and their potato and their fruit and their vegetable and the daily requirements, yes, for the senior.
So could you explain what you do at this meal site?
Sure.
Do you offer other programs, you said?
Yeah. I like to call it food, fellowship, and fun. So at the meal site, they come in usually around, well, first of all, the volunteers are a huge part of the meal site.
Yes, and how many volunteers do you have?
We have over 50 volunteers.
So they rotate each day, so the
Yeah.
same one isn't doing it all the time?
Yes, they rotate. I have a group that answers the phones, and then I have a group that does the senior dining program. So they do all of the setup, the serving, the taking down, the cleanup, and so without them, we wouldn't have a meal site.
Or you'd be doing-
They're a big part of the meal
Right.
site.
Or you would be doing all the work.
Yes,
Right?
exactly.
And not be able to focus on more fun things.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
Could you give us an example of one of your meals, like what you had yesterday?
We have, yesterday was a very good meal. They really liked it was the meatloaf, and we had mashed potatoes with that, and green beans, and we had fruit on the table, and dessert. And then we provide milk and coffee with every meal as well.
And how many do you usually serve on a daily basis, and what, yep.
On a daily basis, I would say my average is 35 senior citizens that come daily. And
Wow.
yeah, and then with the activity before we have lunch always. And the activities could range anywhere from bingo to games to speakers. Sometimes we get doctors, pharmacists. We have parties. We have a birthday celebration once a month. Yep, we have different 4th of July parties. For every holiday we have a party. And we have, we have entertainment, live entertainment that comes in as well.
You offer exercises for them prior to the meal site? That's separate from the meal site?
Yes, separate from the meal site. There is exercise, lots of exercise programs are provided at Generations. And there's definitely a class to suit everyone's needs.
Okay. And we talk about transportation. How do we get there? I mean, do you provide that?
Many of the seniors are able to drive, and they drive themselves to the Generations building, and they're able to just drive themselves to and from. But we also offer a Metro Connection bus that would come from Sheboygan to Plymouth and pick up the ones that are not able to drive to bring them to the meal site. And that's and then bring them back home again for a small fee.
Nice. How do you get people to partake in your meal site? How do you meet them? How do you do your outreach? How is that done?
Well, we do have newsletters that come out on a daily basis, on a monthly basis, and so those are put at all different locations throughout the county. So they're able to see what the menu is and what the activities are. And then it's also published in the newspapers every week. The different newspapers throughout the county will have the meal site menu and the programs that are provided.
So how do you connect with that senior that doesn't get out, or how do you know that they're in our community? How do you get to that step?
Well, I do get outreach calls given to me through the Aging and Disability Resource Center. Some of them are what they call like a welfare check on that senior, just to see how they're doing. So I will go in and then I bring a resource book to them and the menu, and I tell them about the meal site and invite them for a meal and tell them all about the program. I revisit seniors that have been at the meal site that stopped coming, just had other things going on, and if I haven't seen them for a while, then I will go and revisit them to re-invite them. And then I also will do obituary calls. If I notice that someone's husband or wife has passed away, I will go I will visit them and invite them to the meal site. And then I also do Meals on Wheels assessments for people.
And what does that detail?
That is where if a senior is starting on Meals on Wheels and they are possibly needing some assistance with the meal and the cost, then I would go into their home and do an assessment just to see if they qualify, and then go from there.
And you tell them about the resources, because we believe in maintaining their independence in the community?
Yes, yeah. I always bring them a resource book, and I talk about the Aging and Disability Resource Center with them. And then in hope that they recover from whatever illness that they have, possibly just a short-term illness, a recovery from a hospital stay or whatever. So their Meals on Wheels might be just short-term, and then we hope that they eventually will come to the meal site to be around more fellowship, so they can be around other people.
So your home visits are through word of mouth, from friends, yes, and through our aging?
Yes.
And when you do the obituary call, what does that mean?
It means that I would bring them our ADRC. It's a written out booklet that we provide for them, full of very informative information for them through their hard time, and a resource book and the menu, and just to ask them if they need any services, any other services that they could think of that they might need.
And if not, they know how to get a hold of you. And
yes.
And we also have a senior picnic once a year.
Yeah, there is a picnic once a year. We have anywhere between 400 to 600. I think we've had over 600 one year senior citizens in Sheboygan County that come to this yearly picnic. It's been held at South High School for the last few years, and it's just a real fun day that they can come and eat, and we always have live music and a lot of fun for them.
Yeah, it's a good program. And we have an annual bingo. Can you tell us a little bit about that, and when is that coming up?
The annual bingo happens to be today, and that yearly has been held at Emil Mazie Hall in Sheboygan, and that's just evening event for them, and we provide a meal for that evening event, and then after they eat, then they play bingo.
And that's a cost they pay up front, correct?
Yeah, they pay for their bingo cards, and then a suggested donation for their food.
Okay. Tell me, what is the best part of your job? What do you love the best about your job?
Well, I love serving people. I love all people, and I especially love senior citizens. So the best part of my job would be helping senior citizens on a regular day. I love helping people, and I just love caring for them.
When I was there, I felt that they were very welcoming, and it's interesting watching.
Oh yes, yeah, I have a very nice job, and I love my job, and I love them. People
look out for people.
Yes, yeah, we're a family there.
Yeah. Yeah. What else? Tell me a little bit more about what happens when you go into a home and you find that there may be some problems that we could help with. How do you connect with them?
Well, I am not a social worker, so I would bring those type of issues back to the Aging and Disability Resource Center and then go from there.
If somebody needs to have senior care form filled out, or if they need help just with something they may have received in the mail, are you able to assist with those?
Yes, I am. With some things, I am able to assist with them. We do have a benefit specialist, Pat Haferman, that does come to Generations twice a month. And so if they have anything that is regarding their benefits and Medicare and things like that, she would be the one to help them. But all other service, some of them I can help with, some services, but otherwise I would direct them to the right place.
And your hours again?
Well, the meal site hours are between 10 and 1,
Okay.
if you would like to, but Generations is open all day long,
Monday through Friday?
Monday through Friday. Yeah.
I can't think of.
We do have a volunteer party once a year.
Good.
Yeah.
Tell us about that.
Well, the volunteers are invited. It's our treat for them because
So
of all of their hard work that they do, every day. So once a year we provide a fun night out for them, and it's they get a real nice meal and entertainment for them.
Do you have a Christmas party?
We have a Christmas party, yeah. We have probably Thanksgiving and Christmas are our two biggest holidays at the meal site.
And then how many people usually attend on an average?
Okay, on Christmas would be the biggest, and that, for last year, we had 155 people attend the meal site for the nice Christmas meal, and then we had the Sargento CCAP singers entertain. We've had them for many, many years come for our Christmas celebration, and they do a great job singing Christmas music. And then Thanksgiving is the same, a very large crowd and a very, very good meal with entertainment.
And you serve the people, correct? Their food? No
Yeah.
one comes up to the front to get it? You have the volunteers?
Yeah, we
Service it
do
out?
serve. We serve everyone the meal. Yes, and at my meal site, if by chance they didn't like the meal that's being served, we can offer, because we have a chef on site, we can offer them a sandwich instead, a ham sandwich or a turkey sandwich or a roast beef sandwich, or a salad they could have. So those are some other options.
So it's handy having that deli pick, did you say?
Yeah, Piccadilly.
Yeah, Piccadilly
Very,
on staff.
very handy. And there is no holding time with the food. It comes from the oven onto the steam table, and we serve it immediately.
So do you have the same people attend every day, or is it different?
We do have our regulars that come every day, and then we have others that just come when they see something that they like to eat. Then they'll come, or if they see something on the entertainment schedule that they want to do, then they'll schedule for that.
Okay. And I noticed as we age, our hearing gets bad, and when you do bingo or you're playing something, they all seem to chip in and help each other.
Yes, yeah, we are a family there. We all help each other out. I have a very nice meal site, and we all care about each other, and we are a family.
And if somebody doesn't show up, do you call them, or?
Yes, if somebody doesn't show up and I know that they're living alone, then I definitely would call them to find out why they're not there and they're supposed to be there.
And if there's no answer, then what's the next step?
Then I would call, paperwork is required for everybody that attends the meal site. So I have that in my office, and I would be able to look at their emergency contact on their paperwork, and then I would call the family to find out why they're not there. And then if I still don't get a reply and they are, then I would have to, if I still didn't get a reply, then I would call my supervisor to find out exactly what my next step is, and a lot of times it would be to call 911 and just have them checked on in their home.
And sometimes they just forget, right, to come. It's not always an emergency.
Right. Oh, yeah. It's not always an emergency.
Or they forgot about an appointment and they just went
Yeah.
to the appointment instead, or the appointment ran longer. Or,
Yes, yes. And they can, right, and then, exactly. And sometimes they just can't make it for the day, and then we just ask that they give us a call and let us know if they're not going to be able to attend.
Okay. So can you tell me again, can you explain the cost situation one more time, please?
Sure. So it's a suggested $4 donation to eat at the meal site. If you can't afford $4, you put in the money box what you can afford. And reservations are required a day ahead of time by noon the day before. And then we give them the menu, and a lot of times I like to say that rather than having to remember to call the day before, if they could just tell me the days that they want, I can put them down for the entire month. And then my
that's
regular
nice.
ones, I just know that they will come every day, so I put them down for every day. But the ones that don't come on a daily basis, they can just tell me the days, and then I can write them in for the days that they want for that month.
Do you see relationships develop throughout the time that they're there? And
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah. There's a lot of very good relationships. Yes. And
can you tell us a neat story, or?
well, when one doesn't show up, everyone is concerned, especially if they're a regular daily person, and all of a sudden they're supposed to be there. There's a lot of concern as to why they're not there. We all care about each other. Yeah, we look out for each other.
And you service a prayer prior to the meal?
Yes, I give the announcements before we eat lunch, and then a prayer is provided daily from a senior citizen in the dining room.
And when you talk about announcements, what are you talking about?
Anything up and coming. This time of year, flu shots would be announced and where the locations would be. I would be announcing the bingo for tonight. Any events that they would be interested in going to, I would be announcing that to them. And then I tell them what the menu is for the day, and I also read off what the menu is for the following day. And then if we have a special birthday, for that day, we'll announce their birthday and we'll sing happy birthday to them. And then the prayer is said.
Do you, these activities, are they every Tuesday you have this and every Wednesday you have that? Is that how it goes?
No, that sometimes some of my programs are carried over from month to month. Such as birthday celebration is always the last Tuesday of the month. I do have different facilities, assisted living facilities or nursing homes in the community that will come in and sponsor a bingo occasionally.
Oh, I bet you that's filled up with that. Huh?
Yes, and so some days if they pick that first Wednesday that they want to come, they'll usually come that first Wednesday. So some of the days are carried over.
So when they play bingo, is there a door prize, and how do you get those door prizes? I mean, who pays for them, or?
Okay, well, when it's a sponsored bingo, then the sponsor will bring all of the prizes. But when we play bingo, or when we have any other fun things that we need money for in the dining room, there's a sunshine fund that we have. And that's money that is their money that they put in, their money, and then we use that money to buy bingo prizes or to provide entertainment for them, and any other things that cost money, then we use that money to play the games with.
So do you have people in the community that give donations, generous donations, to keep everything going?
We do, once a year, we do get a donation from the Aging and Disability Resource Center. We do get a small donation for that. But other than that, all of the other monies would be provided from them, from the senior.
Yeah, they seem like a great group, and I was real impressed with them.
Yeah,
They
they're
were very nice.
yeah.
And you run a nice ship, and you can see that everybody cares for each other, and yeah.
Yes, yeah, it's a very nice place, and hopefully we'll have a lot of people come and visit after this.
Yeah, wouldn't that be great?
Yeah.
Right? That keeps it going.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. I would like to thank our guest, Susie Wenzel, for sharing with us how important it is to help one another. And to you, our audience, thank you for tuning into our show. Please join us next month for another interesting topic on maintaining your health and independence. Independent Lifestyles is sponsored by the Sheboygan County Aging and Disability Resource Center and is aired 3 times each week on Charter Channel 990, UVerse Channel 99, and on YouTube. Live Monday at 2:30, Wednesday at 7 p.m., and Thursday at 9:30. See you next month. Be well.